When we told stories back in the days, you had to ask permission. So boys and girls, are you ready to hear my story? I did say people from this side, they go read primary school, so they want to go now. PNU. PNU beginners and girls, are you ready to hear my story? Lesson 1. On January 8, 1974, a beautiful young African Bangwa boy was born in Mamfe. Thanks to the love relationship of a man called Pa Mike Nkeze and some beautiful Azi woman called Mami Agnes Imenye Fondi. And thanks to their relationship, on January the 8th, 1994, that soft, fine Bangwa boy was born. And growing up, this Bangwa boy went to so many different Roman Catholic primary schools. He went to Boyatown. He also went to Catholic school, Small Sopo, down the road, the one in Bioko, in Tole, if you guys know Bioko. And then he later moved to St. Therese Catholic School in Fiango, Kumba. And that's where he graduated and then went to Bishop Rogan College. All the Bioko ex-students in the house, make some noise! There you go. So when Jimmy left Bishop Rogan, he then went to high school in Sase. All the Subans join me. Let's make some noise. And when that fine Bangwa boy left high school, Sase, he went to Uni Yao. I see a lot of Yaoundé people here. If you went to University of Yaoundé in Guakele, so Papa Jimmy, make some noise. And then his academic life continued. He went to Belgium, where he studied philosophy at the University of Leuven. And when he was there, after 4 months, the family made a decision to say, hey, my man, Belgique, Masao, can I das? He moved into the US, and then he later then went to Webster University, where he had his master's degree in human resources. Make some noise for Webster University. And that is it academically for Jimmy, and he continues to enrich life in his profession. Now, from a relationships perspective, Jimmy 15 years ago met this beautiful, fine Tico Pekin. When I don't see Messi either, you cannot miss it. Jimmy loved those eyes. And so they got married, and the good Lord has blessed them with 3 beautiful kids. The very first one, our daughter here, named after my mother. Can you stand up, Anna L? And the second one, Daisy. And the future Messi, the footballer in the house, Eka. Make some noise for baby Eka. You don't look like baby. Make some noise. And that is the byproduct of a loving relationship by his profession. So for those of you who know, with Father Josh, I know for the sake of time couldn't say, but he alluded to that during Mass. When Jimmy left University of Yaoundé, he had no job, and that was Jimmy's own, Father called it today, a Calgary or something like that. Crucive, yes, it was a difficult time. I was listening to Mass, but I was taking pictures. That was Jimmy's own pain period. And that's where the name The Verificator came in, because he would shake keys. It's like, who can open the doors for me, man? Bank statement is not coming. All the uncles and get a day. That's where Verificator, the name came. You know, so Jimmy then worked for a transportation company as the chef d'agence, the chief of the agency. He did that for a couple of years, and then he moved to the US. He worked for Tommy Bahama, top of the line clothing company. All of us grew up just having Tommy Bahamas almost everywhere. Father and everybody had one, parents, friends, and so on. Jimmy left Tommy Bahamas as a business service representative. And then when he graduated in his master's in human resources, he worked for a company called Iris. Then he's moved along 3 different companies. Now he works for a private equity company. You know, he's grown along from an HRO analyst to a senior HRO director, and he's right now, as I know, a great candidate for good things to come at the VP level. So the good Lord has blessed him. You know, so this is Jimmy. So when I say that, you know, we come here, people have met Jimmy, some people probably met him in his later years. When this is the Jimmy they know. But a lot of people do not know this Jimmy, or who have seen another Jimmy, but have seen this Jimmy today, and they appreciate him better. And those are the friends who have been with him for 50 plus years. And so it is important for those of you who met Jimmy in the course of his journey to recognize that Jimmy, as a young guy, has continued to metastasize, not just mentally, not just physically, but also spiritually. And as Father said, with his golden age, he's in a place of joy. All say amen. Amen. And so, to wrap it up, I will summarize by saying, Papa Jimmy, oh my son, sometimes the people who come so don't even know place where man go find them, so we just walk out for Fiango, one rich or some other place on Paddy. I don't say Coco, just say what to do chefs when I come boost. That's how the evening went. Like so, but today when I say Jimmy, story could be summarized in contrast. If you guys know the story of Mami 430, this is a woman in Fiango who raised her children to the best, just selling arrow in Kumba. Jimmy now no longer eats that arrow in Kumba. Jimmy now eats, if he wants to have a good food, he goes to Poco de Chavo or some expensive stuff. Okay. Jimmy was very good at saving money when he was young too. So Jimmy knew how to save in his own small way, small janky them yet. But now Jimmy no longer plays janky. He goes only to chase. Not West Fargo, my bank. He goes to chase. I wanna know people they bank for chase, now people they find. Me I be West Fargo man, he be chase speaking. So that is his story. You know, Jimmy used to wear money bele, pants and all the rest, but you guys know today, Jimmy, look at that picture. Look at this picture. That is a transformation. So when God blessed you, you know if you deny. So Jimmy, I'm happy you have taken your blessings with pride, but yet with humility. People know Jim So. On picture of Facebook may think Jim So is the most humble guy you will ever find. And Jimmy plays a very big role. We come from a family of 7 kids. 2 boys, the first is a girl, the last is a girl, 5 boys in between. And Jimmy has always played what I'll call the interlocutor role. When the big me and Joe for here will argue, Jimmy will come make so Joe and him. So he has played that middleman role for a long time, even with our sister Terry. And I want to say thank you for being a family pacemaker. So my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, the end of my story lesson 14 is to say, Jimmy, congratulations. We wish you the very best. With that said, I want you to bring your beautiful wife to the floor and you guys open this evening and you exit and let the people of God just dance and enjoy themselves until you let us know you